Oh my gosh, it even looks good close up. Hey, what's up you guys? Welcome back to my channel, and in today's video we are filming a makeup tutorial. Today I'll be showing you guys just my go-to makeup look. Pretty much a look that I'll do whenever I get the chance. If you see me with this makeup look, you know I'm trying to be cute. I'll link all my products down below. I would recommend probably like every single product. To all my friends, to all the girls who ask me what makeup do I use, how do I use it, and I will be explaining everything today. Let's get into it. I kind of wanted to spice this video up a little bit and talk more about just the differences of Canada versus America and just how I grew up and what it was like honestly when I first got to the States, and just the cultural differences that I had to adjust to. Makeup, talking about Canada and the US. Let's get it. Okay, let's literally just get into it. Okay, first things first, we have to put our hair up. Because when I tell you, there are actually so many things that is different about the two countries. I feel like I weird out my friends and my family sometimes when I go back to Canada, because sometimes I'll be gone for like 6 months and I come back and they're like, okay Kat, you're acting so American right now. Even vice versa. This is the first product that we're using today. This is my favorite moisturizer ever. I already washed my face earlier. My face is so dry. So we're gonna start with our brows. I use a brush like this, spoolie, and like this angled part. And we're gonna grab little Miss Anastasia Dip Brow Pomade.
Yes, I use Dip Brow.
And this is in the shade medium brown. I'm like overly caffeinated right now. Okay, so we're gonna zoom in. Oh my gosh, I'm a YouTuber. Well, for some reason, I always like to just go in the corner. So with this product, like, you have to have a light hand. If you press down too hard, it's gonna be too much. My hand is shaking so much right now. Okay.
And I
already messed up my hand. Okay, and sometimes you make mistakes and that's fine. You just gotta keep going. Oh my gosh. Oh my god. But it's fine. We'll be fine. Like, see, we're already fine. Like, what did I just say before starting this video? And look what I did. I grabbed way too much. Okay, and then nobody was gonna tell me that I had a booger in my nose. That's so crazy. The intention of this makeup look, or my makeup looks honestly, is like just to do a little bit. Like, you're just trying to accentuate your features. We don't have to go too crazy. We know that we're cute already without it. We want to have makeup on, but we want people to start guessing, like,
Is she wearing makeup?
or is that like actually what she looks like? So this is what my one brow looks like when it's like all the way filled. And I would honestly say that brows take the longest. It's all about precision. Okay, we're gonna move on to the concealer part, and I just grabbed a brush that was like this, and we're just gonna put concealer underneath to just make it more clean. This concealer, this is the Hourglass concealer. Yeah, growing up in Canada and just like learning about the US in general, like in my classes, they always would say that Canada and the US are like brothers. Okay, hold on, I'm really gonna have to focus in right here again. You're gonna want to take the concealer, put it extremely, like, okay, I'm just gonna show you. I'm gonna show her, not to tell her.
your focus needs more focus.
I said, damn bitch.
The way that I grew up and what I knew about the US was I was just really expecting them to be really similar to Canada. I am from British Columbia, which is a province that borders Washington State. Yeah, so I live very, very, very south of British Columbia in a city called Surrey. But most people don't know what Surrey is, so I just tell people out here that I'm from Vancouver because they can just look it up and see. But if you're actually from BC and you say you're from Vancouver, you're not actually from Vancouver, then people just laugh at you. Every now and then my family, we would go to Washington. Obviously, since we were so close to the border, like, you couldn't really see any like cultural differences, honestly. I believe that people from Washington are very similar to people that are from BC. They're just so close in proximity. That's what it looks like when blended out. So yeah, I had no idea really exactly what the States was like. I had no intention of moving to the US. I really had no idea what I wanted to do with my life. I remember when I was younger, people would ask me like, what were my goals with track? What did I want to do? My teammates in high school, they would already know what they want. They want to go to the Olympics. They want to go to a D1 school. And I remember being so young and I had absolutely no idea what that even meant. The thought of leaving home was really scary to me because the way that I grew up, I was very, and I still am, was very family oriented. Like, I would see my family like my extended family, maybe like 4 times a month. We would see each other all the time. Like my parents brought me up to always prioritize family. Like you have to be putting your family over everything. Like
Family, 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 family.
it was really hard for me to think about moving away and like pursuing track in the States because I couldn't ever imagine living on my own without my family. It was one of the #1 things I noticed about people in the States. Like they move away from their family. Like a lot of their family you grew up in Iowa, you can have a brother that lives in Florida, you can have a sister that lives in New York. Like your family just spreads out. But in Canada, at least from my area, everybody's family lives in that city and their whole entire family lives there, and like you're staying there, your roots are there. Okay, next thing we're gonna do, we're gonna take this got2b glue and we're gonna brush them up and make them look clean, nice, and beautiful. Okay, so yeah, so it wasn't even until like later, my last year in high school, is when I finally decided that I did want to go D1 and I did want to go to the States and pursue track, because I found out that like I was really talented in track. I started lurking on the internet, and like I remember I would look up all those big like track schools. I got to a point where I was obsessed with D1 track. It was really hard actually for me to tell my parents about this thing that I wanted to do, which was like when I finally got to the point where I did want to continue doing track and I wanted to take it the next step further. My parents, they didn't like it. They didn't like the thought of like their baby girl moving away from home. Nobody does that, like I said earlier. And to live in a state like Iowa, I didn't even know what Iowa was when I was in high school. I had to look it up. I pretty much had to convince them. Once I kind of like introduced them to how scholarships work and like how I can actually pursue it and be good at it, they were finally like okay with it. I'll go into depth one of these days. Let me know in the comments if you do want to hear about that story, because just think about you being 17 and 18 years old and you're going against what your parents are saying. Trying to convince your parents of like this idea. Like my parents are immigrants. I forgot to mention that. They moved to Canada in their 20s, and just the thought of me like going to another country to go to school and pursue track, that was so out of their comfort zone. Moved to Iowa when I was 18. I quickly discovered that it was so different than what I was used to. So I literally brushed my brows up just like this, but I don't keep it there because I'm not crazy, and I just dry it. When I first moved to Iowa, it was really hard for me at first because all of my favorite things are not found in Iowa except for track. Like I don't even know how to say this. Like I feel like when I'm in Iowa, I'm a completely different person than who I am when I'm at home, because like back home in Iowa, they're so different. I'm still Kat, obviously, but just the things that I do, the people that I hang out with, there's just different parts of me that are emphasized when I'm here and when I'm at home. It's crazy like how much kind of a 360 it is when I'm there and here. Okay, so when my brows are brushed up like this and they're a little bit dry, like I don't even know how to describe this part right here. Will be left behind, but we'll wipe that off later. got2b glue, it's the best brow product. I also like to use these 2 products. This is the Charlotte Tilbury Flawless Filter Primer, and then this is the Super Goop Unseen Sunscreen. So I kind of mix them together. Okay, as I was saying earlier, for example, BC is like really beautiful. Their motto is beautiful BC, like beautiful British Columbia. Like that is what it's known for. There's mountains and there's so much scenery. Some of the main things that I would do, like hanging out with my friends, is like we would go up to like a viewpoint and we would hang out and just watch the sunset. Like that is a focal point out there. Like going to the beach is huge over there. Like that's just a part of life. One thing I noticed here in Iowa, like nature is a little bit more of an afterthought, whereas in BC you're focusing on it. There's that I noticed, is that Iowa is so flat. Like it's actually unbelievable how flat it is. I tell you, I had no previous education on what the Midwest is like. I was shocked when I came here. Like there's no mountains, there's no water, there's like not even like higher levels of ground. Like there's no hills, like flat like farmland. Next thing we're gonna do is contour slash bronzer. Yeah, that was kind of one of my biggest issues. Not issues, something that was just very different about Iowa and back home, because like even like when I'm really sad or when I just need time like to myself, I go and I sit by some water. Like that is just one of my favorite things to do. Or I just go and I sit outside in the sun. But I can't do that here because it gets cold here and it gets windy. I remember I was at my sister's high school graduation, and her principal literally was like, yeah, this generation of grads, I truly believe that they're going to be the generation that finds the solution to climate change. But then I come to Iowa. I remember one time there was an election going on here for the governor, I think. And for those who don't know, Iowa is very much red. I remember this and I'll never forget it. I was a freshman. There was an election for the governor. Bullet points on like his whatever. But his thing literally was like, doesn't agree with same-sex marriage, ban abortion, and doesn't believe in climate change. When I saw that, it was a very interesting feeling. Like if I feel like in Canada, maybe like 90% of people, if they saw that, they would be like, huh? I'm pretty sure that governor won. Like stuff like that exists here. And when I first moved here, I didn't think that a lot of those things were even up for debate. I think like relating to nature, like people litter here a lot. Like people litter here, bro. Like people just be throwing their garbage out the car window. And I'm like, please don't. Like that literally hurts my soul seeing that. If somebody saw you back at home doing that, they would give you the nastiest look on your face, like,
why are you ruining our earth?
like people at home get so offended by littering. Okay, next we are on concealer. The concealer that I use, the Fenty Beauty concealer. I love you, Rihanna. In the shade 290. And then we're gonna blend it out with a wet beauty sponge. Yeah, moving on to my next point, actually. And mind you, disclaimer, some of the things that I say could honestly just be exclusive to Iowa. People don't recycle here. Like, holy shit. Like, they just put everything in the garbage. And they don't care. Like, you're done your ketchup? Okay, garbage. Or like, let's say you drank like a beer, like a bottle of beer. That's going in the garbage. Everything just goes in the garbage and it hurts. Seeing that they do not recycle, they don't really care about recycling, I feel like, and that makes me really sad. Back at home, we use 4 different garbages. One is for plastics, like actual garbage, like wrappers and stuff. The second one is for recycling, like all your normal recyclable stuff. The third one is, actually, is it just 3? Yeah, it's just 3, not 4. The last one, the third one, is compost. People here need to learn what recycling is and compost. Like, you don't have to throw a banana peel in the garbage. Like, you can put it back into the environment and be a good Samaritan. And like back at home, if you don't follow those rules, like with the garbage, I'm pretty sure you get fined. Another thing randomly that just came to my mind that I feel very honestly strongly about is how you pay when you're at a restaurant. In Canada, when you pay at a restaurant, the waitress, she comes and she gives you the machine to put your card in, and then you do everything there. And it's like, okay, I put my pin, I pay, I do the tip, whatever. But in the States, they take your card, they go to the back somewhere, and then they come back with the receipt, and then on the receipt, it shows the total, how much you want to tip, and then like the total after the tip, and then you have to sign it, and then you go. One thing that really confused me is like, how do you not need my pin? Okay, next we're gonna powder our face. Okay, this is a Huda Beauty powder, the shade Pound Cake, and I love this powder. I don't really get oily unless I'm like actually like sweating, I'm outside, and I put this everywhere where I put the concealer. And then I use this bronzer to go on top. Another thing that I noticed right away when I moved to Iowa, let's say you like bump into somebody by accident and you're like, oh wait, oh shit, sorry, like my bad. What an American is gonna say is, you're
good, you're fine.
When I first heard that, I was like, what? Like, what do you mean I'm good, I'm fine? Like, I don't really know like why they say that, and I honestly say it too. I've adopted it and I've added that to my vocabulary, even though it bothered me at first. But in Canada, if you like, let's say it's the same scenario, like bump into somebody,
They would say, it's okay, it's fine.
but in the States, it's like, you're okay, you're fine. Like, that kind of comes across as like kind of savage. Because my first thought was like, I love living in America, but I also love living at home. Okay, since we have all that done, we are now moving on to blush. It is Patrick Ta in the shade She's Adorable. You always have to smile when you put blush on. Okay, I figured out what I was trying to say. Like, I feel like most Americans, they don't really like it when they have to explain themselves most of the time. I just have to give an example. Okay, no, I have an example. So, I came to this school, absolutely had no idea the rules of football. I knew nothing about football. Everybody was like,
what is wrong with you?
I remember I would go to the football games and like some people would be like, what? Like, how do you not know what's going on? Why aren't you cheering? Like, what the heck? Like, come on, cat. Like, you should know what rushing means. You should know that this means this, that means that. Like, how do you not know? Like, there's a lot of how do you not know things. But in Canada, it's like, oh, you don't know? Let me tell you. Here, take my hand. I'll take you over here and we'll learn together. I don't really blame Americans for being the way that they are because like you have to also kind of realize that America is America. Obviously people have different views. Like not every country is going to be the exact same, and I remember that was kind of a hard pill for me to swallow, was looking at it in a way where I thought that Canada was so much better than the States and like everybody needs to be like Canada, but that's not true at all. Like Americans definitely are a little bit more entitled to their rights and what they expect from like life and people, but like they get shit done, you know what I'm saying? So we are gonna move on to lashes. These are the lashes that I'm using today. I'm gonna teach you guys how to put falsies on today. So these lashes are a little bit too long for me and we're gonna cut the outer corner. We're gonna take our glue. I use this glue on the rim, and the key thing that you have to do to make sure that you can put them on like the best is to let your glue dry. And so we're gonna put mascara just on this eye because this is the eye that we're gonna do first. So I like to grab it with a pair of tweezers, like grabbing it like right here. You're gonna have to adjust it by corner, and then you can use your finger. And my mirror is like under me, so I'm looking down. Another thing that was really funny, honestly, in the US, they can't do direct bank transfers. Like they have to download apps like Venmo, Zelle, Cash App, and that's how you transfer money person to person. Whereas in Canada, you have to do it like from your bank. Like you have to download your bank's app. I kind of like using Cash App and Venmo a little bit better. But the thing about all those apps, they take a percentage of your money. Say someone sends me $5. I can't remember from the top of my head. It'll probably take maybe like 30 cents from like $5. This might be just like an Iowa thing. It might honestly just be like a country thing. Well, fashion is just like way more basic here, and dressing up here is you're wearing jeans or like you're just wearing like a nice shirt. But like dressing up back at home, like you're gonna go all out. You're gonna put glam on, you're gonna do your hair, you're gonna wear heels, like you're gonna be going crazy. Like at home, we were wearing heels and going out and going to nice dinners and stuff like when we were really young. And then I come to Iowa and I can't even remember the last time I put heels on. Like me and my friends, we love to get dressed up. Like get dressed up. Yeah, when I first got here and like when the girls and I would like want to go out, they would be wearing like sneakers, jeans, and like a hoodie, which is fine. Like I love wearing that too. Back at home, like we were putting our best fits on, doing the whole shebang. We are spending hours getting ready. We're doing it all. But I definitely think it's just a country thing that no one really likes to dress up here. Back in high school, girls were wearing trench coats, booties with a chunky heel, like getting ready to go to school in high school. You're slaying, like you're trying to slay in high school. Okay, well, we are on the last step of this makeup tutorial. Dun, 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 the lip combo. My go-to lip combo right now is this NYX lip liner in Cold Brew. She's so cute. I haven't really been like an overlining girly that much these days. Yeah, and I try to keep it thin. I don't really like doing thick anymore. Let me turn around. Okay, yeah, the thing with this, it's really crucial to have a steady hand. And I have this lip gloss. It's ColourPop. I can't remember the name. Cute! Super cute. Like, not too much, right? Like, it's pretty chill. Simple, everyday, daytime look. Wow, even the brows. See? We've finished on a good note. Okay, yeah, so that'll be it for me today. Thanks, guys, for following along and watching and listening to me talking about whatever. Like I said earlier, I will link all my products down below. But yeah, like, comment, subscribe, share this video, comment. I love when people comment. Comments are so fun to read. Thumbs up, and I will see you in the next video.